What's good, y'all? It's the Makeup Manager here, checking in for the first entry into my next cutting series, man. So I decided right now, I'll put on, a little bit of the size that I went to, got a lot stronger, and now I'm gonna slowly start to cut it down. I got a plan. I'm gonna reveal it to you guys in this video, but right now I'm starting to gear towards getting ready for what I'm trying to do in October, which I'll tell you guys about later. I kind of said it before in another video, but we'll talk about that. So I'm gonna tell you guys what I'm doing. I'm about to chef up some breakfast real quick, kick it with my dog Henny. And we're gonna get to it, man. Stay tuned. Alright, man, breakfast cooking up. It's my everyday thing, man. Need to get 3 eggs and ham, high protein, holla at me. Alright, I'm gonna show you guys. I went to the store earlier to pick up some goodies, so I'm gonna show you guys a couple of what I got. Alright, man, so just a couple of the things I picked up. It wasn't too much. Got me some ground turkey, a couple packs of that. I'm gonna run out. These carb balanced tortillas that I've been preaching to you guys forever, man. 6 grams of net carbs. Look at the macros in this bitch. 5 grams of fat. Hold up. Focus. 5 grams of fat. 32 grams of carbs. 26 grams of dietary fiber. And 9 grams of protein. These things, they taste good. And they're perfect for, if you're on a lower carb diet, trying to get that fiber in, not trying to have too many carbs, you're good to go with that. And then some ham that I put in my eggs. Try to get this lean. Some of these hams, they have a lot of fat in them, right? And then some Fuji apples, because grapes prices went back up. These are, to me, the best tasting apples, Fuji apples. They're nice and crunchy, juicy, sweet. Everything that you want in an apple. But anyway, I'm about to prepare my breakfast real quick. So I'll holler back at y'all. Alright, man. Eggs. A couple of peanut butter jelly sandwiches with these little whole wheat English muffins. I'm about to pop my pills out of here. CLA fish oil. Then I'm gonna grab my protein shake. And I'm gonna kill this, man. So I'm gonna holler at y'all in a little bit. Alright, man, so I'm pre-workout right now. You saw my second meal just now. That was about an hour ago. So now I'm pre-workout, protein, pre-gym. Got my CoQ10 and my vitamin D, and I'm about to go grab a couple acetyl-L-carnitines, and I'm gonna take those too. So I wanted to tell you guys a little bit something. Today I want to tell you guys why you need a protein and why you may not need a protein supplement. Alright, man, so in my opinion, when it comes to protein supplements, I say that you need them when you can't eat the amount of food necessary to hit whatever your protein goal is, and that's hard for a lot of people, especially a lot of the women out there. And that's why a lot of people actually have to resort to liquid calories, because even if your stomach is full, you can always fit a little bit more liquid in there. You can just kind of think of it as, your stomach inflates a little bit, like, and when you're full, your stomach is pretty much like extended a little bit, but there's still like, a little bit of space in there, and that's where the liquid comes in. So that's why a lot of people resort to like liquid calories in the form, like weight gain shakes, protein shakes, different things like that. That's one of the cases. And also, if you can't afford to buy all the food that you need, because chicken breast is expensive, and that's the best source of protein you're gonna get. As far as like bang for buck, that's the best that you're gonna get. Chicken breast, boneless skinless chicken breast. I mean, there's the other options too, but they're less in protein. But even then, they're more expensive than chicken breast. So that's why I recommend everyone chicken breast. And as long as you cook it right, they taste pretty good. But not everybody can afford shit. Protein shakes come into play at that point. If you don't have that issue, then you don't need a protein powder. You don't need a protein shake. You can get everything from your food. But in my opinion, it's not as optimal as using protein shakes, just because of the properties of it, how fast it digests, the different kinds, and also mixing it up and stuff like that. So in my opinion, it's not optimal, but you can get everything from food. There's, not really anything wrong with that. People have done that for years, gotten results. There you go.
But protein powders will, in my opinion, help you get a little bit better of an edge and a little bit better results. Just because, like I said, the properties of them. Per serving, protein shakes, you know, all the protein powders are a lot cheaper than, you know, actually buying whole food, to be honest. And that's one thing that people don't actually realize. You know, you're paying most of the time less than $1, you know, per scoop. You know, and most people aren't taking, you know, probably more than 2 scoops a day, depending on what your goals are and, you know, how serious you are about this fitness stuff and how much protein you actually need. So it's very cost effective, to be honest. You know, type of whey protein for a recreational lifter is just gonna last you probably at least a month, and it's only gonna cost you like 20-something bucks. Versus, you know, the chicken breast or whatever meat that you buy is gonna run out, you know, probably in about 3 to 5 days within you buying it, and then you gotta keep buying more and more and more. That shit adds up, and it's much more expensive than protein powder. So that's my tip. I'm about to go to the gym. I'm gonna see if I can get some footage. It's Monday and it's like prime time right now, so I'm gonna see if I can set it up. We're gonna go arm workout today.
What's good, y'all? So today I got you guys an arm workout. And the first exercise you're gonna see here are incline dumbbell curls with about 40 pounds right here for 10 to 12 reps. So this is actually the second bicep exercise that I did. I started out with reverse barbell curls. Actually, I just forgot to record the set. So when you're doing incline dumbbell curls, they're very beneficial because it helps you get that stretch on the long head of your bicep. It really helps bring up that bicep peak. And also with your arms pretty much being behind your body, that's what provides this stretch. So when you're doing these, you really want to focus on trying to keep your elbows still and make sure that you're extending all the way at the bottom and getting that stretch. It's okay to cheat a little bit, you know, towards the end. Like maybe if you got one more rep in you, you got to use your body a little bit and jerk it a little bit, but you don't make sure you're not doing that the entire time. So the next exercise that I'm doing is standing concentration curls with 25 pounds for 12 to 15 reps. These ones are a staple of many great bodybuilders, and plenty of people use them in their arm workouts all the time. I don't use them too often. It's just part of the variation that's in this program that I'm doing. So it's the same as my other workout for my chest, where it's, you know, you go through a certain like exercises for this. Instead of 4 exercises, it's 3, and then you go back through and do another version of the exercise, and it's gonna be for higher reps when we go back through. So it's 3 exercises and then 3 more. So I'm just gonna fast forward right here. Make sure that when you do it, you're keeping your elbow on the inside of your knee. It's the same thing right here, just seated, so it's a little bit different, and the rep range is a little bit higher. So just make sure when you're doing this that you have your elbow right on the inside of your knee pretty much, and make sure that you're, you know, nice and controlled on the way up and nice and controlled on the way down, and really squeezing it at the top, because this is gonna be something that helps you bring up that peak, man, get your bicep a little bit meatier and everything. So I actually like the exercise, to be honest, especially in the higher rep ranges, and it's all about really fighting through it. And when you get a little bit tired with these exercises, you can actually help out with your other arm if you like to go a little bit beyond failure. So right here is going to be behind the back cable curls. This is kind of a variation of incline dumbbell curls because you're getting that stretch of your arm being behind your body. Okay, and like I said, that's going to help you you know, bring up your biceps peak. Okay. I've always liked this exercise, and same thing with the incline dumbbell curls. Just make sure that you're keeping your elbows still. Okay, that is the biggest key when it comes to bicep training in general. And for all these exercises, I either did a drop set or a rest pause, depending on, you know, if it was higher reps, I typically did a rest pause. If it was lower reps, then I did a drop set, or it depends on how many reps I get on the second set. And also I'm doing 2 sets of each exercise, just like before. And so the next exercise and the last exercise for biceps, I believe, is the barbell curls. I was just taking these nice and slow, make sure I'm not swinging too much, keep my elbows right by my side, taking my time, you know, inhaling when I need to, exhaling on the way up, and just controlling it on the way down. I really believe that when you're doing barbell curls, focusing on the negative is probably the most beneficial thing that you can do. And I have to use the easy curl bar because I have a wrist problem in my left wrist. So if you guys have a wrist problem and, you know, your wrist is agitated when you're doing curls or anything where you're holding your hands in on a straight bar, and your wrist starts hurting, I recommend you start using the easy curls for those movements, and the pain's pretty much going to go away. So right now I'm still trying to rehab my wrist. It's definitely progressed, and hopefully it's going to, you know, get better soon. So now I'm moving on to triceps, and the first exercise I did was close grip bench press. I did a couple sets there. I actually had a spotter, so I got to, you know, go pretty hard. I did about 235 for 6 reps, but I started to slide backwards on the bench, so I could have got a couple more reps, but it kind of threw me off a little bit. So then I dropped it down to 225 and got some good reps in. I think about 7, I think. But anyway, so dumbbell overhead extensions, second exercise, 80 pounds right here. Just make sure that, you know, coming down nice and controlled. I like to touch pretty much all my traps when I do this one. And that's when I feel like I have the best, you know, stretch for my triceps, and then I explode it back up. Now, these are rope tricep pushdowns, and I call them negative rope tricep pushdowns because anytime I do pushdowns, I'm really focusing on the negative. I don't really care about the positive, so I cheat down here and there. What I'm really trying to do is push it down and then control it on the way up. You know, each one of those negative portions of each rep is probably about 4 seconds just for me, because I really like to focus on that, because that's where I feel like tricep pushdown is the most beneficial. And I can go to positive failure with the overhead extension, which I'm going to do later. So now moving on to dumbbell tricep kickbacks. I really like these, like I said before in other videos, man. You just got to make sure that you do them when, you know, your triceps are tired. That's when they're the most beneficial, because it's kind of an easier exercise, I would say. I mean, you can go heavier if you like, but it's more beneficial when, in my opinion, when you're fatigued and you can use a light weight. This one is really high reps, and that's why I feel like I get the most benefit out of it. So now, like I said before, I'm doing the rope overhead extensions, and it's kind of where I get that positive failure from, like, you know, for the tricep pushdowns. Just nice and controlled. I'm not focusing on, you know, going too slow on the way down. Just going down nice and controlled and then exploding up pretty much. And make sure I'm getting that full stretch, getting my hands all the way behind my head and trying to stretch that tricep the best that I can. And then after this, I'm going to move on to the last exercise, which is the dumbbell close grip bench press. Pretty much it's just a neutral grip bench press, but the focus is on my triceps. You know, I really don't feel this in my chest at all, just like when I do close grip bench press. So the main thing here is just, you know, just instead of having your hands turned out, just turn them in and then push them straight up and straight down. I like to try to get my elbows past my body at the bottom. Sometimes I hold it there just to, you know, load the triceps a little bit more and then push up, so then I feel a little bit more that way. And just make sure you're pushing straight up and down and not opening your chest up any. That's how you're gonna get the most benefit out of it, man. So that's my workout right there. Try it out. Definitely can help you get your arms up a little bit bigger, man. So let me know what you think, and I'm gonna holla at y'all. All right, man, so that was a good workout. I'm about to head on home now, get my post-workout meal and everything in, man. Definitely a lot of major keys in that workout for you if you want to get your arms bigger, man. So make sure that you watch that, check it out, study it, implement it. So also, I'm about to talk, on my way home, I'm gonna discuss a little bit about like my plan, like what I'm doing right now, and how I plan to drop the body fat. Okay, so my plan consists of 2 phases. All right, so the first phase right now, I just came off of my full body split. So what I'm doing is I switched my frequency back to training each body part once per week, except calves and abs, which I'm training probably about 2 to 3 times a week. And what that's gonna do is kind of like shock the body a little bit by changing my training frequency, but keeping the volume the same, actually increasing the volume just a little bit. So that's gonna shock a little bit of extra growth and strength into my muscles. And then after I'm done doing this for 6 weeks, I'm going to move on to doing back to my superset program that I was doing before. And that's gonna shock my body even more, because I'm gonna increase the volume, and I'm gonna be working my muscles twice a week, okay? So I'm experimenting right now with changing the frequency and the volume of my training, just to see kind of how it affects me, because going from my supersets over to the full body training for 5 weeks boosted my strength so much. So now I'm gonna keep switching up the frequency here and there, and it's also gonna give me times where I'm working out more days per week, and then times when I'm working out less days per week, you know, over the course of the year. So with what I'm doing right now, my cardio is gonna consist of, right now I'm doing 10 minutes of jump rope, about 10 to 12 minutes in the morning after I get off work, and before I eat. So I'm doing 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off for about 10 to 12 minutes. I might add a minute every week, I'm not sure. It's pretty chill, but it gets my heart rate up and it gets a good burn going, especially on an empty stomach. So I'm implementing a little bit of fasted cardio. During my workouts, I'm doing cardio acceleration. And what that pretty much is when you're doing cardio in between your sets. Now, if you want to try that out, I've done it before and I can vouch for its fat loss benefits, because it really allows you to really maximize your time that you're in the gym, and then also, you know, not have to come into the gym extra time to do your cardio. So instead of sitting down for a minute between my sets, I'm gonna be doing stuff like running in place, jumping jacks, some plyometrics, different stuff like that. Not too crazy with it, but enough to get my heart rate up, okay? So that's gonna be my cardio, just a little jump up in the morning, and then that during my workouts. And then we're gonna see what happens as time goes on. And in the second phase of my training, I'll tell you guys in a second. And in the second phase of my training, when I start the supersets, I'm gonna be doing pretty much the same thing. I'm gonna try the cardio acceleration with that, but my diet is gonna change. So right now, my diet is gonna be linear for the next about 4 weeks. So I'm gonna just decrease the carbs every week. I think this week I'm about 200 grams of carbs a day. Next week it's gonna be 150. I'm just gonna drop by 50 every week pretty much. And then when I get into my next phase, I'm gonna do carb cycling. So I'm gonna have a high, medium, and low carb day. And then each week I'm gonna maybe knock off a high carb day, knock off a medium carb day, different stuff like that. I tell them in the last week of this, and maintain the cardio. So this is just an experiment. It's an experiment slash me actually trying to get lean and stuff like that. So we're gonna see how it works. Don't judge. It's a weird meal, but it's what I'm about to eat. I'm about to eat this apple, 8 ounces of chicken breast, and then I got this for dinner later, probably in about 2 hours. And I'm gonna have this along with some brown rice that I got at work. So I'm taking that with me, and then I'll have my protein shake probably a couple hours after that, and then I'm done for the day, man. Nice, simple, and easy. Yeah, man, keeping it clean for the next 12 weeks so we can get these fast gains, get lean, get stronger, all that good stuff, man. Stay tuned. All right, man, so not much left of my day. I'm at work right now, so I'm just gonna wrap the vlog up now. Like I said, all I'm gonna eat now is just this ground turkey that I got and this whole grain rice that I got in the fridge here at work. And I got protein shakes a couple hours after that. And then when I get off, go back to work, get off, start all over again, man. So probably gonna put up probably about 2 videos a week, displaying my workouts and like what I'm doing with the cutting and stuff like that. So just stay tuned for that. Let me know if you got any questions. I hope you liked the video. Don't forget to like the video, man. Subscribe, and I'ma holla at y'all, man. Make the manager out.